everybody. It is time for Minute to Skim It. I see all our friends are here. I'm super glad to see you. Wives are already private chatting. Okay. Awesome. I see Bar Lord's on here and Mr. Dope. Preston was hoping for us to rescue him from his pull box somehow. Today was a huge rainstorm. Just happened to happen right when I was helping a nice lady load things into her car. So I'm pretty wet. But it did not influence my ability to actually read the comics. But it did influence people's ability to come into the store. How was everybody's free comic book day? Hope you had a lot of fun. Hope you found a good local comic shop near you to go support and have, interact with their crew. Maybe see special guests. I don't know if you guys had any special guests. We had some awesome ones, Brian Salinas and Wilkins. Man, I was like, my brain all of a sudden decided it was Dave Wachter, and I was like, nope, that's not right. Reject. How about Dave Wachter? Nope, wrong. Reject. How about Dave Wachter? That's the way my brain works nowadays. It thinks surely the first thing it thought of. It's got to be the right thing. Yeah, Dave Wilkins. And it's so funny. I actually talked to the representative for Loeb and Scott Williams and all those guys today. He's local to me, and he didn't even know that Dave was going to be at our store. He's like, wait, he lives in California. I'm like, no, he does not. Either that or he drives to our store on the regular just for fun. I think he's local. Oh my goodness. What was your favorite thing about Free Comic Book Day, Shanice?
Oh man, just seeing like all the people come in, talking to our guests, and seeing all the different free books, especially Post Malone's was pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good day. I always love Free Comic Book Day, and it gives you a chance to like just see what people are reading and still trying to recuperate from that day. It's a long day.
It's funny to me, like there's some people that we only see on Free Comic Book Day. It's not because they're just coming for free comic books, but there are people that they used to be our local people, and then they moved far away, but they'll make the trip, for coming for Free Comic Book Day. So it's kind of nice. It's like getting to see family again. All right.
What was your favorite thing about Free Comic Book Day?
You know what? Seeing a plan come together, I guess. It's like I don't think that everybody knows how much logistics planning happens for Free Comic Book Day, especially if you have guests, if you have advertising you're trying to rearrange the store so everything fits and that there's no tripping hazards. And I mean, because you have a different layout for your store during the rest of the year than you do for Free Comic Book Day or Black Friday. You like pull everything off the floor that could possibly be horribly trippable. Because these people usually haven't been in your store in a while. It's easy for them to be like, wow, crash. So yeah, just like to see all of those little bits. I mean, we had so many really great volunteers come. We could not have done it without them, honestly. But it meant for a flawless day. And we ended up with beautiful weather, even though the night before was, I don't know, it's pretty much the end of the world kind of weather on that day. So
pouring down.
Mm-hmm. We were supposed to have that on Free Comic Book Day, but it just went. We woke up in the morning and it was clear. I'll take it. Let's get to looking at the comic books for this week. That's what everybody wants. That's clear what they're talking about. They're talking about of all things, they're talking about Halloween. Because I'm real fans of Halloween in our chats today.
Halloween and Summerween's coming up soon.
Summerween? What's that?
It's like a halfway point to Halloween. I don't know. It's a thing I saw like on Instagram. It's nice.
But what do you do? What do you do for Summerween?
Just how like summer nights they're like start so early and just yeah. So I just kind of do like fall things, but in the summer. Like I can't. It's something that you kind of have to see for yourself. But you watch horror movies, go out in the cornfields. It's great. I love it. But ultimately Wolverine.
I mean, there are people that are like Halloween year round, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about Ultimate Wolverine, which has been so amazing. Okay, so this one is a really cool tale involving Creed, or otherwise known as Sabretooth. This gives you some more background parts in their interactions together and kind of like what's happening now. So they do have a confrontation in which Sabretooth is determined to see what's behind the mask. Probably because, I mean, he knows from their discussion during this giant battle, which is very visual, which I hope you got the last issue of Ultimate Wolverine because it was over the top gorgeous. Hunt it down. Hunt it down. And so this is really, I think, him wanting to look Logan in the eyes and see if he's really in there anymore. Because you remember, he's essentially the Winter Soldier, which means he doesn't know what he's doing. He's under the control of somebody else most of the time. But he is brutal. Brutal. So if you like really like violent stuff, like we were just talking with Jay right before we got on, we had Shanice had recommended last week's, was it last week that it came out?
That's really before.
Predator Spider-Man, right? Real violent. Lots of, it's atypical for what you're used to for something coming out of Marvel, that they aren't also marking very clearly as like Red Band or something. So the Ultimate Wolverine line continues to be unabashedly violent. There's a lot of books that are like that this week. So if you like Bloods and Guts, you will be very happy.
The Harvard's Show, the 20th anniversary special issue. Also, just wanted to say thank you to Eddie and Preston for their comments on us on Summerween. I would have to eat something besides watermelon because I hate any kind of melon, but I love horror movies, so maybe I'll eat like mangoes or something during Summerween. And Wicker Man would be something to celebrate during Summerween. But to the comic now, Amadeus Show, the 20th anniversary special. I really liked how this was like laid out with the 3 different stages of Amadeus Show's like life and how we've seen him like in the books. The first Summer Wings. The first part is Amadeus. Second part, the totally awesome Hulk, and then the last part is oh my gosh, like I was saying, Braun.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, is on Braun. So I think as I was reading this, it's like, okay, it couldn't have been like 20 years since he made his debut. But then it's like, oh yeah, I was in like was in middle school when he made his appearance. So that's pretty tribute to like think about. But it's a really fun celebration for the character, and it's also setting up to a certain summer event that's going to be happening, involving Cosmic Marvel. So I'm very, very excited.
Sorry, I don't know. Something in there.
I always have to do that. Always have to do that to our producer. Mangoes in Midsummer. Yeah, it would be good. But yeah, like if you like the character, if you want to know more about this character, because I kind of get the vibe that he's going to be playing a big part in Imperial, this would be the book to do it. It's like a primer almost of about who he is, what his personality is like, and you see his supporting cast. All in all, it's a very enjoyable issue. It's good for fans of the character, and it's good for people who just want to jump into it. Like, kind of reminded me of the Immortal Fist anniversary special that came out last year. I think last year. That was also very, very good.
Does Luna Snow show up? Is Luna as part of the game? Do they interact in the game?
Agents of Atlas.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So, I can say Luna. That's not spoiling, but she's not in this. But there's another member of the team who does show up, who I really enjoy. So, you're trying to guess?
No.
Oh,
maybe I am. the thing, so when Amadeus first showed up, I didn't know really what to think about him. It was like, are they trying to make Hulk, like when he's hulked out, not be terribly dumb? Instead making him, have some kind of smartness. But then I remember Jen.
You're welcome.
Is terribly smart already. So it's not without precedent to have a smart Hulk. But yeah, I think he's kind of fun because it's not really like an anger based, like getting him set off.
Which they do kind of touch on that on the last part of the story. So there's still some anger issues there.
Well, he's a teenager, so
very hormonal. But it's definitely not boom boom.
Boom boom. Everyone can guess. Go ahead. I'm trying to remember who else on the team, man. I have to think about it now.
So it's like if I give like a hint, people will be like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's such and such." Yeah.
All right. So wait, is the little fox dog thing that he's carrying around in his shirt? Is that spoilery to talk about? Because he looks so cute.
No, that's a little coyote that he like teams up with, adopted. So it's this little guy.
A coyote?
Coyote. It's a little buddy.
I don't think those are things you can train. Those things are cussedly mean. But all right. It's my answer for everything for Shanice. Oh, good. Just boom boom.
Boom boom.
All right. Oh, I love Jim McKay. This is like, it literally says introducing the all new X-Men. Now, this is them announcing themselves as X-Men. I don't know about us announcing them as X-Men or anybody else. I don't think that Scott's having any of that, nor is Magneto, who they figure out a way to address his powerlessness right now, which is pretty dope how they work through that. But it's kind of interesting how they really have introduced these characters who are really, honestly, terribly powerful. They all, within their own rights, are worthy of being X-Men or us appreciating their mutant power or whatever. But it's so hard for me to get over like the mental jump of none of these guys are any of the original 5 or any of the original 10 or whatever. There's nobody that's even recognizable outside of the new kind of like, these are the mutants we see out of Krakoa or post-Krakoa era. But we're going to have to get used to that kind of stuff, right? They finally worked it out over in DC where they tried to do like, here's a bunch of youngers. Those are the new group. Welcome to the dawn of DC stuff. And we were like, nah. And then they were like, how about we introduce them quietly in the main storylines? And they were like, yes. So I don't know. Maybe this is me just being get off my lawn about characters. And I need more time with them to like get to know them or care about them. Feels like in this book specifically, it's more about like, let me flex on you to show you why I'm going to smack you down and tell you that I am the X-Men now. So I don't know. It's definitely worth a read. Powers are cool. The art's awesome. I'm just going to need not to yell at clouds. So close. Yeah, so close as that. My mind yells wrong words at me all the time. So anyway, yeah. Continue on in the series for Jim McKay's X-Men. It's all been really great. I hope you've at least given a few issues a try.
It's absolute Green Lantern. So after I read the first issue and after it was released, I saw some pretty interesting reactions to it. It was a little bit more polarizing than what I was expecting, especially when it came to like the artwork in it. So I will say that I can understand why people were like, it doesn't fit the tone of the story that's supposed to be a bit more horror, a bit more darker, especially with the more like cosmic horror vibe to it. This issue, I feel like it fits. Kona, stop soon. My comments. I feel like in this issue, it fits the art fits the tone of the story like a little bit better, especially more like action orient, like it's more like action focused compared to like the first issue. So if you thought it was slower, like the first issue was pretty slow, it's like a slow burn. Yeah, sometimes sorry y'all. This one is just full on action, and it's again it's another issue like you kind of had to check the rating. It's like, okay, this is surely like T plus. Like it gets pretty gnarly in this issue, guys. I'm still really enjoying it. The character that is seen in this issue is genuinely terrifying. He's from the Green Lantern mythos. I'm sure you guys have already figured out who it is, or you've seen spoilers or things of that nature. But it's just like, this is pretty dang on dark. Like, I can't say it's like absolute Martian Manhunter dark, but it's like, it's just yikes. But a good yikes. A good yikes in a bike. But I'm still digging it. I just want to know, like, how, like, at the end of this arc, like, where the relationships, like, these characters are going to have with each other after all this, because there's, like, no way, like, they can even be, like, friendly or just... Wow, did you get a chance to read it? Because I know...
No.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just, like, sitting here going, oh, my gosh. I should have, instead of sitting over there watching dumb videos for a buffer, I should have come back here and been like, joink.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I would encourage that people, like, if you were kind of on issue 1, give this issue a shot. And I think it flows, like, the pace is a bit better in it. Not a bit, but the pacing is better in this issue compared to the first one.
Oh, my son's comics with kids. Snow Monkey. Okay. So I did do a small, like, review of this book on my own, like, personal page or the store page, or probably also posted it to the experience, because I got copies of this and a couple other not released books yet directly from Red 5 themselves. I was at a convention with them, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. And I've got a long-standing relationship with Red 5. They're local to Houston and have made some really amazing books. We should be seeing really soon Afterburn, which is it's based off of one of their book series. Soon, I think, to movie theaters. It might be streaming instead. I don't know which way they're going to go with it. But yeah. And you've also seen Red 5's work. There was a show that they put out called, gosh, I have it right on my rack over there. Oh, it's not The Rift. It was the other one. Oh, I hate it when things will come. Anyway, Mutants, Sharks, Afterburn. No mutant sharks. It is a fire-based, really cool thing. So anyway, to Snow Monkey. This is about a girl named Jennifer. Not me, clearly. I mean, I do look like a monkey, but so she is the daughter of what looks like, I'll just say Yakuza for lack of a better term. He's some kind of powerful guy who it's clear that he wants her to both be able to defend herself and is making her go to this public-ish school that also seems like it's very, like, if you were going to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers high school, where everyone is, like, related to some bad guy, power struggle person. So everybody in the hallway knows, who she is once someone drops her name. She doesn't want to go, but her dad says, hey, if I can't send you to the school where I find all of my heavies from, then everyone's going to come in. It's not Sky High, but man, I love that movie. So good. Now I want to go home and watch Sky High. But this is kind of it's neat. So she's at odds with her father, but also she does not back down from anything. So you kind of see her go to school for the first day. She has like a handler that shows up, think like a senior buddy, like, hey, senior buddy. And then she witnesses some other kid getting picked on. So she goes to tell them what's up. And that interaction does not turn out the way she wants, not because she isn't capable. It's because of some other complexity within the school. But also the cool thing is that what you see on her head there, it's actually a helmet. And the helmet kind of, for all of the warriors that went before her that wore it, all of their memories and abilities and all that kind of stuff are part of it. So when she wears it, she knows everything that they knew and is, can draw on all of the ancestors, all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's a little mystical, a little bit kung fu. It's like if you like books with a lot of really cool fight scenes, it's kind of neat how they do it, where it's like there's a fight move and then they actually name what the fight move is in there. So that's kind of cool. The only thing one thing I have against it is it follows this line of there is a culture in which monkey is really cool and powerful and has its say. When we think of monkeys, we think of ridiculous beings. So it's hard. Anything named monkey, I have a really tough time with just because of the name. But this one is a really great book. So get past the monkey silliness and you will like the book.
Because I think monkey related all thing is like, can like 100 men fight one gorilla? That's all I'm thinking now when I hear monkeys. It's been ruined for me.
I know, right. Right.
I want to ask, like, oh, it's Jeff Week. So this one, Jeff the Land Shark, and if depending on if you're playing Marvel Rivals still,
sharks. There's sharks in Afterburn. Man, I need to go back and read that book.
To see this character you think is super adorable, the sweetest thing that you'll ever see, or it is a genuine terror. And this is basically just a collection of the digital only Jeff the Land Shark books that's been out for a while. I can't think. Thank you, but
hey Jay, you can pop up all those comments if you want to, so everyone can read them.
I mean, honestly, I think like maybe they couldn't take it down, but they could at least do some damage so like the next 100 can maybe do it.
I had to have this discussion with my 22-year-old son as a serious discussion today. If Jaws became a plushie. He's got toe beans, y'all. Toe beans.
Here's what I was going to say about the gorilla thing.
Oh, no.
If you can find 100 idiots to fight a gorilla, because I'm not going to be one of them. Obviously, if you're smart enough to try to fight a gorilla, you're not going to take the gorilla down. I don't care if it's 100 people. Like, fighting a gorilla, you might as well smear yourself in fish guts and jump in the ocean. Fight a shark. One versus a shark. How about that?
Someone needs to write a comic book right now, post haste, called 100 V Gorilla. You make millions.
Anyways, it's a very sweet comic. It's very cute. This is a very good palate cleanser after reading a very spooky comic.
It's true, Justin. 100 guys drink a gorilla under the bar. There you go. That they could do.
Can't even talk about the comic. I'm just thinking about that. But like, anyways, if you want to get something for the Jeff the Land Shark fan in your life, this is it until the next series starts up soon. But he's adorable. It's cute. Nothing more I can really say about it. And he just gets into adventures. Little rascallion. Adorable.
We sold a ton of the like a little compact size. It's Jeff graphic novel that came out a week or so ago. Free comic book day, man. It was on. If I had a chainsaw like Vigilante did in Peacemaker and had no other choice, I'm going in. Oh my word. By the way, I got to sneak peek the movie Fight or Flight. If you like chainsaws in a plane, it's your movie.
I love how that was like the cutest comic of the week, and it just had like a super like like violent conversation about
Oh, I know.
gorilla.
We could never send that cut to the people that made that book. Be like, here's a nice promo for your book. As we're talking about gorillas and drinking and chainsaws.
It really was a good book. It's just there's nothing I can really talk about it like more than what y'all already know.
It's adorable. All right, so this actually helps if you read the Johnny Quest series. That, well, I think it was, I can't remember when that ended, but I feel like it hasn't been that long ago. Although you don't really need to, because they reference it enough so that you know, oh, this must have happened in this previous 1 through 6, where they find some kind of conductor that Daddy has. So this is really about them. Imagine if they were going and talking about like, oh, a spacecraft, maybe not from our world, has crash landed, and we've kind of like government calls in the quest to kind of try to figure out things about it, as you do. And in the previously mentioned series, they actually have gone forward in time. So this thing that they have is from the future. And so when they start tearing apart this space vehicle, there's, of course, it just happens to be an object, a powerful object in there. They don't know what it does. That they'd like to power it up, of course, the government would, to see what it might do. I mean, pew pew, probably. So what are you going to do? You're just going to, like, of course, if you're Johnny, you'll be like, I don't know. Dad doesn't know what he's doing. Boop. So anyway, this is a great startup for how you get these two universes together and have them make perfect sense. So even if you don't know anything about Johnny Quest, nor anything about Space Ghost, this is a fun adventure that's very of an era, okay? So Johnny Quest was a very 50s and 60s thing. So if you like Flash Gordon or any of those kind of era things, you'll love the mood and tone of this thing. And it has a dope Mark Spears cover. So if you're collecting Mark Spears covers, don't miss this one, nor there's a couple other ones this week make you really happy. Bandit is the best character.
So quick question, because it's way into this. Did you read Future Quest when it came out?
I think I read part of it, but I cannot remember. Is that what it's from? Is a Future Quest where they went forward to?
Oh no! Like it was just because I've been talking to people here like about Space Ghost and Johnny Quest, and it's got like his fans here, but like I'll always about meaning to like compare anything Johnny Quest or Space Ghost like to that like to like the whole Future Quest thing, which is really enjoyable. So if anyone in our comments, if they read it, like how did these series compare to that one? Because that one was really fun too. Because I've heard good things about these books, but it's like, and I'm always down to read more Space Ghost and Johnny Quest. Just want to see some comparisons.
By the way, I think just between you and me, Shanice, and the walls, I think we have the best comment in the whole industry. Just everyone's coming up with the most fun stuff over in the sidebar. Yeah. We love y'all. Space Quest is so good. What do you think? Haji's the smartest one in the room. He says the least, so he probably is the most wise. This is just my guess too.
Thank you, Preston, and thank you, Justin.
Yeah, Space Ghost has a really big following. Well written.
Ooh, Fantastic Four fanfare. So the perfect book, besides the current ongoing Fantastic Four book that going on right now. This is a very good time to get into the Fantastic Four before the film comes out, and just to get into the Fantastic Four in general. This was a really fun book, guys. It's got 3 stories in it, and just seeing like the first family like interact with each other, especially Ben and Johnny, it's always great to see. one of the subplot or one of the short stories in here involves Johnny on a dating game show, and it goes the way that you would expect for it to go.
Awkward.
Exactly. But genuinely, like, this was such a fun book. It's Mark Waid wrote the first story. Alan Davis wrote the second one, and unfortunately I am blanking on the very final writer. It may have been those two working in tandem on it, but yeah. If you wanted something just fantastic, this would be it. I'm really enjoying it, and I actually thought initially this was going to be like a one shot, but apparently there's another issue coming out, and now it has Hickman on it, so I am very excited.
Put what Preston says up there. Does it say it's clobbering time? No, but one of the contestants is secretly Paris Hilton because she says that's hot.
And with that, I'm going to leave the show. I was like, where are you
that
going
was
with
all a lie. I just lied to y'all. I didn't read this book.
Paris Hilton does not make an appearance in this book.
Wouldn't it be so hilarious if she did, though? Oh, no. We've gotten fully ridiculous. All right. Absolute Superman, number 7. The last issue did touch on Brainiac a little more strongly and the way he uses the bottle cities. But this is full-on Brainiac origin story for Absolute, so it is not to be missed. So he is very powerful. His entire drive right now is to try to figure out who Superman is. He has no idea where he came from. He just knows that he's not good for whatever Brainiac wants to have done. If you haven't picked up on it yet, there's not just one Brainiac. There are thousands of Brainiacs, and they just have numbers. And that's how you get to find out like more about this guy. And he's been using these little bottle cities as like he tried to like use all of their like smartness or whatever to like, hey, I need information. Tell me the information that I want to know, right? And if you displease him, your little bottle city may not make it through the end of the day. But the origin for him is kind of nuts. Like he's from Nobodyville. He's nobody as far as Brainiacs go. But yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous. So yeah, do not miss this one. You can actually probably just jump in here if you haven't read any of the other books. There's nothing in here that you would like, oh, I don't know what happened earlier that I need to know this stuff. So this one, 100% awesome. So how is Absolute Superman the tops? I cannot get enough of any of the current 6 that are going on. It's really hard not to like body check Shanice off of all of them when they come in. Would that be Brainiacids or Brainii? I don't know. That's a good question. You're one issue and then trade. Yeah, some people do that. So we know that we're ordering all the Absolute trades this next FOC cycle. So you've got basically a month from now. So let your LCS know that you want them if you're wanting them. Not that they're not going to order like 20 million of them anyway, but because we are. Ken K, hello.
Ooh, so look out. While I talk about this, I'm just going to pop it over so you can see it. To make sure, like, before I say I'm saying it correctly. But, so as y'all can see, it's from AWA Comics and Vertigo Entertainment. So this one kind of surprised me a little bit at the format of it. And as Jen flips through it, she'll see what I mean.
Oh, yes, this is cool. This is more like a traditional graphic novel.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very text heavy, and there is art, but it's not like how we are familiar with it comic book wise with panels and things like that. So I'm a sucker for if you guys go onto Reddit, but I sometimes will go to like a no sleep or I'll read like the threads that it's like tales from the people who work as like, you know, park rangers and all the strange paranormal things that they encounter out in the woods because you're so isolated and you're in like a fire watchtower by yourself. And this is a one shot. And when I saw that, it's basically how I was describing, like it takes place in a Firewatch tower and it's a horror spooky comic. I was in. It is a one shot and it's a very, very thick one too. Like you get your money's worth like with this issue. You can see there's like so much text to it.
This looks so cool.
Yeah. So the all current number ones. Yes, these are new books coming out tomorrow, so they're not all number ones.
Yep, this is just a selection of books that are coming out tomorrow. Can we kind of pick our favorites and then we try to read all the number ones that we can that are coming out.
Yeah, overall, like this is enjoyable. This is something I really wasn't expecting, like just of how it's laid out. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that this is going to be like a one shot. So, but they could, in theory, if they wanted to, do like a second part to this. Yeah, I think you would really like it, Justin. Like, genuinely, like this one really surprised me. Like, it felt like I was just reading, or I was reading like a no sleep story, and I mean that like as a compliment. This isn't me being dismissive about it. It's like it's very, very spooky, and once Jen puts it away, I may. Oh.
This is really cool. So this is actually Axel Alonso, who's like the head muckety muck at their company, big in Hollywood, by the way. I shouldn't call him muckety muck. He's a nice guy. So the thing that is here's the cool part of the pitch that he's talking about. So maybe this like other than just like it being a watch, right? Was based on something they did find in Reddit.
No,
so, yeah, it's literally where they found it. So it says he takes the job, the main character, as a fire lookout in a remote forest outpost. He unearths a mangled sheet of paper inscribed with a strange set of rules that promise to keep him safe during his watch. You know that is like the most terrifying start to a storyline because you're like, where did that list come from? Obviously, the person that was supposed to be on watch isn't there anymore.
And I also realized I should have said like what the story is about. Like, so is a 30-something divorcee. He's like, I just need to do something new with my life, so he decides to work, as like a fire watchman. And when he gets there, he finds this list of, hey, there's something called the Weeping Lady, and here are the rules that you need to learn and remember to survive her if she comes near you, or if you hear her, or if you see her. Like, there's a rule that's like, if you see her like in your window staring into your little cabin, you need to get under. You need to just hide under your bed, turn off your radio, and you don't move until like the next morning. And it's just I really did like how like this like, as the story goes on, it's like framed around like each rule. So one part would be like rule number 1, like, if you hear scritching that sounds, turn off the lights, turn off your radio. If you're out investigating something and you hear a woman sobbing, you just hightail it, to your tower. Yeah, this all in all, this was a very interesting read, and I really would give this one a shot, guys. If you like horror, if you just want to try something different, because I've never really seen like a comic, like a one shot, like in this format before that's current. So this is a fun throwback, like to how Jim was saying, like the original graphic novels.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried that if I read this book, then I'll think that I still have to follow the rules, even though it doesn't apply to me, and I'm clearly not a forest ranger in the forest. I still be like, ooh, scritchy sound. Excellent. All right, Farmhand. It took a long hiatus mostly because its creator, Rob Guillory, has been like really doing things, including putting Farmhand into development. So he has, and it promises in the very back of this book that he has the last arc finished. So from now on out, you will have a monthly book from him until the storyline is finished. So to catch you up, this is the whole series has been about a family who the father knows how to basically raise like you would a plant, like body parts, replacement body parts, eyes, ears, whatever people might need for their body, and they won't get rejected by a body if they're put in. Well, as you can imagine, big pharma wouldn't like that because, they make a lot of money by making anti-rejection drugs and all this stuff. So those guys come out of the woodwork. All kinds of other bad guys come out of the woodwork. They're like, hey, this is like there's one person that can do this and we want to have control over it. So then there's a bunch of family drama. And then, of course, as you might think, maybe things that grow this way that seem like there might be a little bit of mystical stuff to them might affect the people that they become implanted in. And of course it is. So essentially, this book jumps in when they find finally where the family's mother is buried. They just never really knew. Dad told them that she was gone and whatever, but she was buried very secretly on a plot on their family land. So they know where that is now. And weirdly, that information is important to this, their main bad guy, who I'm not going to be able to remember. I think it's like Thorn is her name. But she's part plant and has like a giant mouth on her head. Super creepy. Everything's gone wrong with her. So it's really her trying to do in most of the family. And of course, there is another family member that has been killed. I can't remember if this happens in the last issue or not, so I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So you can jump in to read that part. It's really dark and creepy. And there's a lot of like, that can't happen to of it. But the art style is really cool. He's kept the art style really consistent through the whole series. So give it a try if you haven't yet. I would tell you if you couldn't jump in here, but if all you knew was what I just told you, you're fine. Yep, just a really long break, Preston. Sorry. He apologizes for it too.
Ooh, Blood and Thunder.
Like the vines are creepy.
So I went to this one. I went into this one blind. I didn't even read like the synopsis for it. I just picked it up because the cover looks cool, and I was really happy to see that it's a buddy cop comic where it's this police officer, the woman with the flaming red hair, and her gun that talks to her. So it's yeah. I feel like you would like this one.
Yeah. All gingers need guns to talk to them.
There we go. So exactly. Her next cosplay. This one is really fun. This is the like world building issue. How like society in the future, there's like different tiers. Like tier 1, it's like it's a beautiful sunny day, guys, and tier 2, it's like they're literally like living like on top of each other. Oh. So tier 2, it's like, oh, they're I guess it's a nice day, guys. It's like there might be some rain, and there might be some gray water from tier 1. Just watch out for that. Ew. Tier 3, hey guys, it's it's coming down from tiers 1 and 2. It's not great, and the floor, it's like, well, y'all just stay inside. It like it's gonna be gross, because very obvious symbolism there, but yeah. The trickle down suckage. No, but like, so our main character, she's part of the law enforcement, like in this world, but she specializes on the floor level, which the other officers, they don't want to even deal with that, not because it's like dangerous, but this is something in this universe. humans and aliens, they live together, but you kind of do get the vibe that like aliens, they're like seen at the bottom, so they're kind of stuck on the floor, but she can deal with them, and it is explained why in this issue. But yeah, it's very, very intriguing. And again, this was something that like I even asked Jen when I ordered the book. It's like, what does your gut feel about this? Like, this looks really cool. And usually when I ask for that, it's like, okay, we definitely gotta like order this. Yeah, if you like action sci-fi with some commentary, this one I really do recommend. And the main character, like she's so cool, and I love her banter. Like, and her name is Blood. And I love her banter with Thunder, because Thunder is the gun, but doesn't want to do lethal options if they can prevent it. So Commander Stadium.
Aliens. Oh yeah. I like the Ghostbusters reference. Great job. Ken K sounds like Commander Stadium. I don't know that one. What's that from, man?
But yeah, so I just thought it's pretty interesting, like when Blood is like, hey Thunder, I gotta use this super lethal feature, and Thunder's like, no, we're not doing that. So it'll be interesting to see like how their dynamic goes in future issues. But yeah, action sci-fi, always good, and I kind of get the vibe that this our comment section really likes sci-fi, so yeah, extra $4, check it out.
Don't ever worry about being late. We're super glad to see you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Free Planet. I got to read as one of those books they handed to me at Comics Pro, and then I kind of skimmed it for this review. This is one of those books you got to kind of like sit and be with for a while, because it is big time world building. So imagine a world in which there are multiple, we'll call them planets, that have different points of view. They've been kind of at odds/war with each other. Part of them are very kind of like, we'll call it a religion focused. I think it's, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the planet, but the name of the planet makes you understand the connection for its belief system. And then there's some of them that are mostly only really focused on economical kind of things, buying and trading and those kinds of things. So this kind of like moves forward in time to when all of the conflict between them is not really resolved necessarily, but the big battle in which they decide that they're going to make one free planet. So no, I don't want to say no rules, because that would be kind of chaos, but out of all of the different planets/factions, they choose heroes. And that's these people that you see here. And they're supposed to kind of like lead the way for what a free planet looks like. And what it looks like is flawed people with flawed relationships making decisions. It is literally one of the creatures, you can kind of see him right in the middle there, is a robot who is a war strategist, who also has a sexual relationship with one of the women that's in the thing there. So that's a complex kind of relationship. And that robot gets basically told he has no opinion. He doesn't get to have an opinion because he's not a real person. So you can see that might sweat people out. And then there is a couple in here that I think the husband was critically injured and is in that giant mech suit. He can't come out. And then his wife still lovingly, adoringly loves him. So lots of really cool interpersonal relationships mixed with political intrigue. It feels a lot like, you have to know a bunch of stuff. Like if you were watching Dune, where you're like, oh, there's all this interaction and interplay between like not only all the Leningrad, but also, the Emperor and all of that stuff. So anyway, only if you like a lot of dialogue, because Audrey Sitterson puts a lot into this, and you're okay with working out all of the world play. So I enjoy it. It's a hard read. If you're like, read it fast for review, that's not going to make you like it. So don't read it for the 5 minutes you have on the bus. Sit down with it and enjoy it.
Do you think it's one of those like it's got like a lot of like a reread value? That
Yes.
read it again, you know, it's more.
I think that this one deserves like a 2 or 3 issues to see where he's headed. Yep, he did. I like it better that way. When I don't like it when people are like, here's a bunch of random words that they use in their universe, and now you just have to like understand their jargon. I'm like, well, come on, help me out here.
Captain Planet. So, oh my gosh, his shiny abs at that. So Captain Planet, my only knowledge of this franchise is when I was a kid, just like the reruns of it. I remember when I was younger, I despised like the heart ring. I was so stupid, but and I was hoping reading this one, maybe that'll change my mind like years later, and it did. So I don't have as much irritation with it. So that's a win there. But yeah, this is very much this is a setup issue. It's definitely for people who may not be familiar. The book is assuming that like, hey, you don't know who or what Captain Planet is, so here are all the main players, and I name all the Rock and Robbie Bills. But
you remember the heavy metal movie? Probably good.
So this again, if you're a Captain Planet fan, this book might be very much a like, hey, when are we going to get to like the actual story? This literally is just a like introduction to the characters, and that's pretty much it. Not saying that as a negative, but it's very much a like, hey, we want to get Captain Planet or reintroduce Captain Planet to a new generation of readers, which it does succeed in that. So if you want to get into Captain Planet, check this out. If you want to jump back into it after being a fan of it for, oh gosh, like when did it initially air?
So long
ago. I would still check it out just to see like the redesigns, which I thought were like they were very very well done, and as you can see on the cover of how he looks now, just super jacked. It's got like the beard and everything now.
He's hot.
He's or like Jen says, he's hot. So if you want to read Hottie Captain Planet, now is your opportunity. Just out of context.
He's got ripped dad bod.
I was 8 when this came out, Shanice.
You were 8?
Well, that'll let you know how old it is. So just real quick, the Rock and Robbie thing is because Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers is on our Monday night show at Comic Collectibles. Mm-hmm. He's been friends with Mark Spears for like 20 years, the guy who did the cover. We made the joke that this is just Robbie on a cover of Captain Planet.
Oh, it might be. How cool would that be? All right, I also want to tell you guys, put it on your calendar. On Monday, I'm going to be doing for Talk and Shop. I get to talk to Fred Van Lente about this cool book series that I've already gotten really deep into, and so is Kyle. The future is bloop. You can actually put the letters in there and see what this one stands for. It's really cool. It's by this really awesome company called Rekka. I know it looks like you can see it backwards. You can tell what it means. They are black hat. The company that they're represented is white hat hackers. Although really their company is Black Hills something or other. So you're like, really? You have black in the name of your company? So anyway, they're basically hackers that break into companies in their back end so that they can find the weaknesses. The future is a bunch of hacks. It is. It totally is. So it's a fun tale. So think of a mixture between hackers and super spies and a little superhero-y. It's like science fiction. But it's so cool because within the book and sometimes on the cover and hidden in its pages are a bunch of little codes. And then if you can crack those codes, they're specifically for hackers. That if you can crack those codes, it'll get you on part of the leaderboard. So there's a big leaderboard. Kyle's already on the leaderboard. We're trying to have a local leaderboard to the EXP, which we'll be giving awards for. So you can start really anytime you want. But next week's shows, you will be able to find those hardcover books that were available only at the Kickstarter in our shows as an exclusive. And then those are going to be released to your local comic shop. You can actually start telling them that you want to have that book series carried, so you can do like continue on with more challenges that might come out. So being an ex-hacker, yeah. I mean, I could never, like, if it was the most simple possible like code, I'd be like, I don't know. How's this work? Google's.
Actually, like what Preston said too, like that for Captain Planet, if you grew up if you were a kid, or if you weren't even alive, like I saw it aired in 1990, I wasn't even alive when that show aired initially. This would be a good comic for you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really wanted to add that because that was a really good comment, Preston.
All right, and really quickly, because we have 1 minute to say it, if you are looking for a comic shop near you, which we lovingly call LCS or local comic shops, please use comicshoplocator.com and a zip code for where you are visiting or where you live, and it'll give you a bunch of different options. Try 1 or 2 this week, or just go to your tried and true and drop some dollars there. I know that you spent money with them this weekend for Free Comic Book Day, but you know there were a lot of expenses for them involving that day. They would love to see you to kind of like fill up their coffers again. We're super thankful for you being here. Stick around. Wonderland is next, where you can get the books we talked about today, plus many, many more. We'll see you guys next time.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.